Morning, everybody. It's time for Morning Manna, and I got a word for you. I'm continuing the conversation that we started on Monday, and it was all about the leadership. It was about leadership, and we talked about it Sunday. We're going to move on into that. That's how I'm led this morning, and I want you to grab this word on this morning: leveraging your leadership. How do you leverage your relationships? How do you leverage what you know and what you're doing? And so that's what we're sharing on this morning. Greet a couple of people, and then we're going to bounce right into the word on this morning. So, who we have this morning? Good morning, my spiritual daughter, Erica. How are you on this morning? Happy terrific Tuesday. I believe that it really is. Good morning, Angela. How are you on this morning? I know you were hanging out on the beach. Oh my God. that's the way to live. Okay. Good morning, Liz. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Ella. How are you? Betty, how are you on this morning? Peggy, how are you on this morning? Brother Nesbitt, how are you? I know you're still floating from your wind. Settle down. Y'all gonna lose again, so don't worry about it. Good morning, Brenda. How are you on this morning? Ari, how are you on this morning? Anna, how are you? Elder Jan, how are you on this morning? Look, leverage. I want you to put that in the chat area. I'm going to give you the text to talk to take away 5 minutes or less. And we're talking about leadership this morning. We're talking about leadership this morning. And I want to know, how are you leveraging your leadership? How are you leveraging your leadership? Here's the text, John 1:45. John 1:45. The overall objective of the book of John is to be a witness of Jesus coming. And here we find Philip, who found Nathanael and said to him, "We have found him," listen, "whom Moses in the law and also the prophets wrote. It's Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph." I want you to grab all of that. That's a mouthful. That's a mouthful. We have found the one. We found him, whom Moses wrote about and also the prophets. And it's Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. Leverage. I want to raise the question this morning. How are you leveraging? How are you leveraging your leadership? How are you leveraging your leadership? Because I think that's critical as a Christian. As I said on yesterday, everybody is a leader. Everybody is a leader. So what are you doing with your leadership abilities? The first thing you need to do is have some knowledge. Have some knowledge with your leadership. You just can't be an ignorant leader. You got to know what you're talking about. You can't be a buffoon out here talking about whatever you're trying to lead people into. You got to have the knowledge. So what do we mean by that? Look at what the text said. Philip said he gave you three critical pieces that told you he had the knowledge to leverage his leadership. He said, "We found him," but guess how we know we found him? Because Moses wrote about him. That means you had to been studying what Moses had wrote. We found him because he's the guy that the prophets spoke of. You got to know what the prophets were saying. And then we found him because he's the son of Joseph, and he lives, or he comes out of Nazareth. What are you saying here? He had the knowledge to know what he was about to leverage. You can't leverage what you don't know. You don't. You can't. Here's the second thing. Just because you have the knowledge does not mean you have the wisdom. Wisdom is the application of knowledge from a biblical, spiritual, godly point of view. Do you know what to do with what you know? Let me say that again. Do you know what to do with what you know? There's a lot of people who have a whole lot of sense, but no common sense. You already know that. The fact is that you can have more degrees than a thermometer, but have no understanding as to how to make application. That's the third thing. After I have the knowledge and I'm going to leverage it because I have the wisdom to know what to do with the knowledge, there has to be application. What does Philip do? Philip says, "Come here. I need you. I'm going to leverage my relationship with you. And I need you to come check this man out, whose name is Jesus. I'm going to leverage my relationship. I'm going to leverage it because I have the knowledge, I have the wisdom, and now I'm about to give the application. What's your takeaway this morning? Your takeaway is this: who are you leveraging your influence with for the glory of God? Who are you leading to Christ? How are you leveraging your leadership? Yeah. That's the word for this morning. The text to talk, the takeaway. Share this word. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't be greedy. The Lord be with you today. His face shine upon you and give you peace. And I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna. And we're going to continue to deal with and talk about this whole piece of our leadership. Everybody's a leader. How are you leading? I'll see you tomorrow morning. Share the manna. Don't keep it to yourself. Bye.